Welcome back. Once again, I'm painting at a place called Art Space in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. And I've arranged my camera a little bit different so you'll have a higher angle. Hope that works for you. So I'm going to do a last bits of white before I go to oil. I started this painting exactly 1 hour ago, and I have to have the painting finished in 2 hours. So that's pretty quick. So I have not sat around and wasted a lot of time. And just jump right in, because 3 hours to do 24 by 36 is not a lot of time. I've done worse, for sure. By the way, I went up and talked to the piano player a few minutes ago, who is a woman, and I had to apologize to her because I started painting her before she got here, and I painted her as a man. So, most sincere apologies to the wonderful lady who's playing the piano. So the last thing I did before this was large, again, in the dance of painting, it was large and abstract or expressive as opposed to literal. Large, colorful glazes. Large, dark, and abstract, as opposed to the opposite of all that would be small, light, and literal. So I did large, dark, and abstract. And then I did a little bit of pencil work that you can't really see probably. So this is my last layer of acrylics. I always, and I would recommend this to you too if you're imitating my style somewhat, I always finish the acrylic layer, the acrylic stage, with white. And the way the painting is shaping up right now, I thought this might happen, but it really looks like the piano is going to be the focal point, doesn't it? Because of the contrast. Now it's a little bit odd to have the focal point right dead center in the painting. But there are ways that you can overcome that or get around that. That would be a breaking of the rule. You don't want your focal point right in the center of the painting, right? That's the rule. But there are times when the rules need to be broken. And here's one of the ways to break that. So right now, this is getting a whole lot of attention, right? Are you seeing the whole canvas? Yes, you are. Okay. This is getting an awful lot of attention. But so that's weak because it's focal point. But if I can draw a secondary focal point either here, left or right, then it will counterbalance that. It'll shift the whole thing. And I don't think I have any choice. I think I need to pull it this way because of the prominence of these figures right here. Now, I don't know what kind of drinks they're serving tonight. I should say, I don't know what kind of glasses, what kind of cups they're serving the drinks in. But I'm giving this guy some piece of stemware. So, now, what I'm doing with this figure right now is especially one that is this prominent. I'm doing what I really like to do, which is positive and negative paint it several times. Go back and forth several times. Positive, negative, very much like the way I paint trees. positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. I don't know if I'll go back and forth that many times, but you see me here carving into this figure, negative painting it, him, and then I'll come back again and positive paint him and probably negative paint him, go back and forth. And with each layer, trying to get a little bit more representation, a little bit more literal, a little bit more accurate to the human figure, but without getting all uptight. You know, I could stick my tongue out and pick up a pencil and do some figure drawing here, but in my opinion, it wouldn't have the right feel, the right playfulness. So I don't want to do that. He goes all the way down to there, by the way. And she, I'm assuming this is a she, I'm not really sure yet. She goes all the way down to there. If I haven't told you already, I'm standing on a stair landing, halfway between upstairs and downstairs. This is a fundraiser, and I'm not sure that I'm supposed to tell you what it's a fundraiser for yet, so you might be able to figure it out, but I'm not going to tell you until I get permission that it's okay. But it is a fundraiser. My painting is going to be auctioned off at 8 o'clock. So, as I said earlier, 3 hours to do a 24 by 36 painting is not an awful lot of time. So, I'm not going to dilly-dally. And that's why I could, if I had more time, I would actually enjoy doing 2 more layers of acrylic. That is a dark layer on top of this, and then a final white layer. I always finish acrylics with white. But I don't have that much time today, so this is going to be my last layer. Okay, so I think that's working. You see? Now the focal point has been shifted, and it's like here instead of here, dead center. Now it's about there, and that's okay. I just have to make sure that I don't draw too much attention to all these other areas. Now, one of the ways you don't draw too much attention is you keep edges soft. That's one of the main ways. Keep contrast minimal, and to some degree keep the realism, the similitude also slightly downplayed. You know, like this, let's say this character right here, he won't have nearly as much detail on him as this person or these people. That's part of the way that you let the center of gravity of the painting. Those are 3 ways. Soft edges, gentle contrast, not too much dark, surprising dark and light, and slightly minimized realism. Slightly, that's a relative term too, isn't it? What is slight to one person may not be so slight to another. Let's just do a little bit more shine on this piano. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good enough. Good place for me to pause. Let's see if anybody here has left any comments. Any comments, anybody? Sometimes it takes a minute for the comments to show up. Okay, perhaps there aren't any. Good enough. Thanks for watching. Hello. Hello, Painterly Brushes. There's an old friend. Yes, Barbara, I'm leaving just for a minute. I'll be back in just a few minutes for the first oil layer. Thanks, guys, for watching.